What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the topic of if abandoned, the theories of it are truly, lies. They're not true. They don't end up, coming to fruition. Then I believe Abandon needs to get its act together. Now, I've mentioned this in several of the past videos, and overwhelmingly, I think the majority of people are pretty positive and pretty supportive of the things I have to say, and I want to thank you guys very, very much for that. That means a lot. There are people that have come to me or, said in the comments and stuff about, me being too harsh, me being too critical, that I should kind of like lower, that for Blue Box and for Hassan. The thing is this, okay? I really don't think I've been too harsh on them whatsoever. I've always stood by, if it's not Silent Hill, if it's not Hideo Kojima, if it's not anything, right? I still think that this game has succeeded in what it was trying to do, because if it's none of that stuff, it is a studio way over its head in terms of quality and in terms of making a game, but it's a studio that knows how to capture attention and troll people. And if that's their goal, which I would think it would have, it would be in that case, right? They nailed it 100%. Now, what happens after that, that's all on them. That is completely on their plate. And yes, there'll always be the people that disagree with that, saying that we blew it out of proportion. Honestly, I just would say to those people, or anytime I see that like on Twitter and stuff, I don't think they've looked at all the information or all the stuff that Blue Box has said, the weird stuff even that Hassan has said, all this stuff. Because if you do read it all, if you do look it all up, it's hard to say that they haven't deserved it. You know what I mean? Because they have put a lot of this stuff out there themselves, not necessarily the huge connections with Hideo, even though they have done some of that by themselves, but just everything else that's very, very odd about a studio this size. Even more recently in that video, one thing I forgot to kind of say about it, the whole like motion capture. Small team, but they have like their whole motion capture studio. Very, very funny. But again, here's what I want to say. If all of it's a lie, okay? If we're wrong with all of our theories, which if we are, fine. I will wave the white flag, all that stuff I've been prepared to for a long time, okay? I do think, and this is for the best of the game and Blue Box and Hassan and everybody else that's remaining quiet, they need to get their act together, okay? Because as I've said in the past videos, if this is not planned, if none of this stuff was like supposed to go down this way in the flaming disaster that it's been, they need to turn it around like yesterday. Like they need to do it immediately, because they failed so many times. And I do appreciate, by the way, because people did point this out in the last video and they kind of agreed with it, when you really look at the studio, they've done exactly nothing in their lifetimes, okay? Now, am I saying that that doesn't make them talented? No. Can I make a game better than them? No, I have no idea what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Maybe I could write a game, or like I know what I would like to see, or I would know what people would like to see and what they wouldn't want to see, but I can't actually make a game, okay? So they're immediately higher up. At the same time, though, in their history, even if you believe the stuff that's happened with their history of like sketchiness, well, does that make you feel good about their games? Should I feel sorry for them? Should I kind of like lower the standards? Yeah, we probably should, but like, should I tone down the criticism of them? Not really. In fact, their entire history then, if that stuff is all real and true, has been just really sketchy, bad stuff and just not delivering on anything. Even if you look at, honestly, if you kind of take a step back, right, and look at it from like a critical eye of what they've shown so far, the trailer, it's not an impressive 1-minute trailer. It's a pretty unimpressive 1-minute trailer. But that's like the reveal that they did, back several months ago. The stuff that we got on the real-time app, it's nothing. It's literally what they posted on Twitter. It's a guy walking. That's all it is. So like, and it's a lot of promises of what it could be, and boy, do they sound next level, but they're not showing or talking about any of it. So that's kind of the thing. I can very easily remove myself from the conspiracy. Maybe there always is going to be kind of that gloss in front of my face, but I would say if I remove myself from the conspiracies, if I say, okay, you know what, I don't, the Kojima stuff gone, the Silent Hill stuff gone, let's just look at the game, let's just look at what they've said, let's take it at face value and believe everything they said, which by the way, I think is a horrible, horrible idea, but let's just do it, right? I mean, what you end up with is a downright awful product so far, mixed with disappointments, mixed with lies, right? Saying in their opening blog that it's a horror game, and then Hassan says, 2 days ago or however many days, that it's not a horror game anymore, so like it changed, making promises that it's as innovative as Red Dead, and then saying, well, I didn't actually mean that. Like, look, we're a small indie team. How could I possibly mean that? But you said it. So, like, just promises these kind of higher expectations, then showing nothing, delivering nothing, promising things, and then failing on them in terms of the app, in terms of delays, in terms of what we got from the real-time experience. And then, by the way, a thing I want to point out as a funny thing, and I kind of glossed over it in that article, he basically blamed us. If you guys, I wonder if you guys caught that in the article, because in the article when he was talking about why there was no, why it was literally just the teaser that they put on Twitter, why was that the real-time app? The first thing he said is that, well, people wanted a patch. Well, like, why wouldn't we want a patch? The app didn't update when you said it was going to. So, like, were we supposed to stare at check back soon for eternity? Like, did you expect us to not want you to patch it? So I just found that funny that maybe it was the way he worded it and like just his, you know, his language, but in reality, I think it's like, well, why are you literally blaming us for getting a patch, for like demanding a patch when it's your fault? So like, again, that's really, you know, that's the stuff. Honestly, a big part of it, and I should say this because there'll always be those haters or people that kind of read into what I'm saying wrong. I'm not saying like I need a 20-minute presentation right now or a month ago or whatever to prove to me, one, that it's not Hideo and not Silent Hill or Metal Gear Solid or whatever, but also just to like show me the game. Honestly, if they wanted to do it very similar to how they've said it so far, that's completely fine. You know what I mean? If you wanted to do the teaser or like, you know, I guess it was a teaser trailer, if you wanted to do the real-time app, if that was your plan, obviously it is, but, you know, I would be completely fine with that. But the issue is what we've had is pretty unimpressive across the board. I mean, you have people like us, like me and you, right? Or people that have been in the camp of there's something more here. We were disappointed by the real-time app thing. There's no way we weren't. You look online, everybody who kind of just took a step back and said like, you know, it's nothing, you know, whatever. They all said like, this is very dumb. This is very stupid. You guys got hyped up for this. They're actually making fun of people that were invested, which shows you, again, the entire scope of people thought it was very unimpressive. So no matter how you look at it, they've done a horrible job at everything, at promises, at deliverance, at communication. Communication's so important. You look at a game, one final example, or one final thing I'll say. You look at a game, Kena Bridge of Spirits. This is from a team called Ember Lab, okay? They normally make movies. They help with like designs or like, you know, I guess graphical things in movies, all right? This is their first game. It's founded by two brothers and they have a team, but it's a very small team. They have done about 1 million times better than Abandon. You know what I mean? And Abandon has Hassan, who's very cocky. Blue Box sounds very cocky, right? And you have them, potentially they've had other projects that they've done in their life. You know, Hassan, you don't get to a game director by doing literally nothing, so he's had to have done something in the past if he's a real person, right? So it's like, well, why can Kena run a really good like promotion and marketing like on Twitter? They're really nice to people. They've been really nice to me. Their posts make sense. They keep things in perspective. They have shown gameplay. They've shown trailers. The game's releasing. Like every, you know, and it's their first game. Like now, yes, again, they have done kind of graphical things in movies, but this is their first video game ever. So why can they do it? And why can they just be good communicators, but Blue Box can't? That's another issue. And I don't care where they're from. I don't, you know, the Netherlands doesn't give them an excuse. It's just very interesting. So, you know, I wanted to kind of get that out there because I have seen, you know, it's not a divide, I would necessarily say, but I have seen people that say like you're being too hard on them or, you know, too critical and stuff like that. I think, you know, overall, it goes back to the stuff that I've constantly harped on. That's, I like doing it, and not to make myself sound cocky, but I really feel like I've covered my back at every single instance. You know what I mean? I've never said to threaten him. You know, again, like, him saying he can't sleep, he can't eat, like, I obviously don't want that, you know, from him. I've never attacked him. I've never told anybody to attack him. So, like, I'm not going to claim responsibility for anything. That's, you know, I also think you need to have some thicker skin when you're not giving, you know, not making excuses for, you know, the actions that are, you know, happening against him, but you do need to have thick skin when you're a game director. At the same time, yeah, anybody that is doing these things to him that's causing him that, they need to stop. You know what I mean? So that's all, that can all be true. I can still wish good for the game, which I still do, by the way. If the game is literally just an indie game, I still want it to be good. I still want it to be like a solid game, all of that stuff. But I just, you know, based off what we've seen, I am so obviously invested, and we're also invested in these theories and conspiracies and stuff. But if it's none of it, really the biggest issue with this entire thing is they need to get their act together, because it's been an actual joke. I mean, people, literally a joke in the fact that people are laughing at them like daily. So that's not a good thing at the end of the day when you're trying to actually sell your game, when you're most likely going to make a lot of people pretty upset. Like, if this thing is not Silent Hill, not Hideo, not anything bigger, you're immediately going to lose a large amount of the people kind of like in our camp. Again, as I've said, I'm going to still pay attention to it. I'll still give it a chance, but you're going to lose a lot of them, and then you're just dealing with the people that have only ever seen you fail. You've only failed to the people that don't believe. That's actually, if I had to sum it up in like 10 seconds, that's how you say it, right? To us, the conspiracy theorists, they haven't exactly failed because we think it's all part of the plan. But if you don't think it's part of the plan, you look at the studio as literally a joke, that they've just not succeeded and they're not good at anything. And I don't care if that sounds too harsh. That's the blatant truth. Take a step back and look at it. That's what's happened. And they need to fix one of those two things. It either needs to be all fake and that they really are Hideo Kojima. It needs to be that, so you can say, yeah, all of that stuff, we were just messing with you. It needs to be that. Or if it was none of that, you need to say, oh, nice trolling effort. Get your act together right now and make a good game. That's because nobody's going to buy it if that doesn't happen. Okay, that's the harsh truth. That's literally the business, and that I think needs to be said. So let me know, guys, what you think in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. You guys, again, always do such an amazing job supporting these videos. We're in it till the end, no matter how it ends. I'm in it till the end. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, PodcastNow15. Subscribe to my second channel, Podcast Now Plus. We also have Patreon and YouTube memberships if you guys want to support us there. Links for all of them are in the description below. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all on the next video.